welcome to another episode of Talking to Myself. I'm your host, Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast where I look into a camera and I talk to myself. How's it going? How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. I'm wearing a stained thermal, and I have almost a bowl cut at this point. Every time I put shampoo in my hair, and it's this length, I look like my 3 to 5 year old self. I look like the version of myself that my mom chose to ruin. You know what I'm saying? I look like I have the haircut of either me in my awkward stage where my body didn't lose its baby fat yet, or a hot girl from Brooklyn. Or a punk chick at a bar I like. You know what I'm saying? Look, this is my resting hair when it's this length and I use shampoo. I look exactly like I looked when I was in the stage between human and alien. You know what I'm talking about? You know that awkward stage when you're turning from a child into the full-grown adult you're going to be, and you look like an amorphous piece of pigeon shit? You know what I'm talking about? You look like pigeon shit. You look like a fucking owl pellet. You look like an amalgamation of things that equal out to something mushy and gross. That's what I look like with this haircut. That or a girl I have a crush on. Do you know what I'm saying? That's... Or every girl recently that I see and I'm like, damn, dude, I would love to go on a date with her. Look at that mullet. Look how look how fucking badly her bangs are cut. They look like they've been cut with fucking shears, dude. It looks like she bent over and put her bangs in literally a paper cutter, one of those giant fucking machete looking paper cutters that you would use in art class because it felt like you were slicing into something. It felt like you were using a weapon. Do you know what I'm talking about? That thing that you can use as a weapon in Condemned. Every girl in Brooklyn with a mullet looks like they got their hair... Looks like the dude from Condemned cut their hair for them. That's what it looks like. It looks like the cop from Condemned got into a brawl with them and fucked up their hair to the point where I'm like, damn, look at that cutie. But anyway, that's where I'm at. And I'm pretty sure I wore this same color thermal for the last episode, but who cares, dude? I'm at a point where who cares? It's so fucking hot in this apartment. They raised the rent $800, so I'm moving to Queens. Fuck it all, dude. I'm feeling bad lately? Hell yeah, dude. That's where I'm at. Gotta move. Feel bad. During work, I listen to ASMR a bunch so I don't fucking fight everybody. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, shit. It'd be tough being a kid right now with so many people saying that they have anxiety and depression. It's good to have openness about anxiety and depression and talk about it and be acknowledge that it's real and that it's something that people deal with. But it's bad that it has become somewhat a fad where 100% there are kids in school right now who actually have depression, and they're hearing other kids be like, I'm so fucking depressed. You have no idea how depressed I am. That they have no choice but to make fun of that person, and then in turn kind of make fun of the very thing that they're suffering from. Do you know what I'm saying? That's so much of life, is somebody taking an issue that has nothing to do with them and wearing it on their sleeve so aggressively and so much as a flex that a person actually suffering from that thing tends to disrespect and degrade the very thing that they should be like, yeah, I feel that too. Does that make sense? When you have motherfuckers walking around being like, oh my God, anxiety... and there's a cat on the t-shirt, you tend to start being like, fuck anxiety, it's not real. Even though every time I'm at a party, I want to kill myself. Like, it's cool to be depressed now. It sucks, dude. There's actual kids who want to die And then there's a kid who's fucking everybody in their senior class, and they're like, yeah, bro, sometimes I listen to Joji, you know? Sometimes I just gotta throw Joji on because no one understands me. And I'm also in a band where I'm trying to be Joji, and I have a haircut like this fucking dumbass with the podcast right now. And I have a fucking bowl cut like that, dude. I have a J. Beeb circa fucking early 2000s haircut, dude. And I'm getting a lot of puss, and I'm depressed. And then some dude who, like, is so anxious that he can't speak to a single person. All he does is play video games and think about how he wants to die, is seeing that being like, yo, fuck that, dude. That doesn't exist. It's not good, dude. He should be going to therapy. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm trying to think of things that I could compare. Like, there were things that I just hated in school. Like, depression and anxiety. I think what I'm saying is the things in high school that I didn't like were very stupid fucking things, and that's why I didn't like it. Like, I'm trying to think of good examples. Like, people just were like... I don't know. People had tattoos that were like, only God can judge me. And you're like, shut the fuck up, dude. Anyone can judge you. I'm judging you right now for having that tattoo. Shut the fuck up. That was a classic. Only God can judge me. Or if you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. Stupid shit like that. Like, easily made fun of phrases. But now somebody... gets tattooed I have anxiety on their arm, and you want to make fun of it because it's a stupid fucking thing to do, but also you don't want to make fun of anxiety because you're like, well, I kind of feel that as well. I just think if you're flaunting something, it's probably not that bad of a thing in your life. That's how I feel. I don't know. I think if you're constantly bragging about something, it just isn't that bad for your life. Because you will see motherfuckers brag about things that are really traumatic for other people, and you're like, the fact that you're bragging and telling all of us about this so happily tells me that I don't really think that you experience it that intensely. I don't know. I think some people, I don't know, man. There's this thing where people will be like, do you think someone would really make that up? And you're like, yes. I don't know. It's a difficult subject. Like, dude, there was this kid who would make shit up all the time in my fucking high school. Like things that his dad would do to him. Like he would make up that he got into fights. Dude, I did. When I was a kid, I made up getting into fights. And I don't even know why I did it. So maybe that's why, because I myself am a liar. I've talked about this on the podcast. I lied about getting into a fight at school. Just because one time. And if my parents didn't call the school, that would have just been a lie they believed forever. And so when certain people say things... and I get a weird vibe, when certain people say like something happened to them and you get a weird vibe, I think it's okay to be like, yeah, that person might just be fucking out of their mind. It's hard to do though, because other people will use that to discount actual people who some weird shit is happening to. I know, I guess Jussie Smollett is the most famous, easy example of like when people say, why would anyone make that up? You look at Jussie Smollett and you're like, because sometimes people do. And that's also why you get really fucking mad at a guy like Jussie Smollett, because he ruins it for everyone who tells the truth. And that's also why it's difficult to talk about like when somebody said some crazy shit happened to them, because... I don't know. I guess innocent till proven guilty is always the best way to go. Innocent till proven guilty. You should believe somebody in the beginning unless you hear other information that makes you go, yeah, that didn't happen. Like Jussie Smollett. He said He said that somebody fucking hate crimed him, and we all believed it. He said somebody put a noose around his neck, and we all believed it, and it was chill. And we're like, all right, man. And then people were skeptical, and then it came out that he hired 2 people to fucking fight him. And then the police footage came out where he's just wearing a noose around his neck for hours until the cops show up. And then once the cops show up, he's like, yo, you guys see this? And they're like, yeah, we see this weird, clean noose around your neck that you wore for 4.5 hours. Yeah, we see it, dude. Okay, cool. Can you turn the cameras off? What? You want the cameras off? In what scenario? I think he said that. I can't remember. I think he said that, though. But that, like, you know, that's why you get so mad. Because you're like, dude, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Why do people do that? Why did I lie about getting into a fight when I was a kid? Why did I do that? The school counselor gave me a diagnosis. Fucking dude, come on, bro. What's your degree, dude? But the school counselor gave a diagnosis of like, they said, oh yeah, kids do this when they're, because it was it was an old friend of mine. Well, I pretended that, I said that he and another kid who he hangs out with a lot beat me up on the playground. And I told my parents that when I got home. I've told this story before. I'll tell it again briefly. But I came off the bus and my mom said, you look sad. And then I started crying. And then she was like, what happened? And then nothing had happened. So I just made something up. I just said, I got into a fight. And then as she kept asking questions, I kept filling in information. And I don't know why I did that. And sometimes I think, dude, that's why, honestly, I don't know. Steve Rannazzisi famously lied about 9/11. And I don't know if I would ever lie about something like that, but it made me think of when I was a child making up that fight. I was like, because he said that he moved to L.A., and then in L.A., it was like right around 9/11, and so everyone was talking about 9/11, and then when he got there, people were like, hey, you were in New York. Did you see, were you at the Trade Center? And he was like, yeah. And they're like, were you in it? Oh, you were in it. And he's like, yeah. And then the story just kind of got away from him. He was like in the moment. He didn't know what to say. Then he just like made up that he was in it. And then as that unfolded, more and more comedians knew him as like the 9/11 guy. And they knew him as a guy who was in 9/11. And then it probably started benefiting his career. People probably felt bad and started, I don't know the exact details, but I'm assuming he started making friends off that. And he started, I mean, Pete Davidson openly admits that a lot of, that Artie Lang started taking him on the road probably because he felt bad for him. So I could see Steve Rannazzisi getting some of the benefit of, I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened. But when that happened and when he said that, I was like, I could imagine myself being in a scenario where I accidentally just go along with something. And then at what point do you stop it? For me, it was when my mom called the school. That's when I was like, yeah, I didn't get into a fight. I cried, and then we talked about the fight, and then I let her call the school, and then the school was like, yeah, that didn't happen. I don't think that happened. And then I thought about them contacting Matt's parents, my friend Matt's parents, and I was like, I don't want that to happen. So I said to my mom, hey, I'm lying. And then the phone hung up. So maybe I wouldn't make it as far as he did with the 9/11 scenario. I think probably the next time I was at the club and somebody was like, wait, you were in 9/11? Did anyone you know die? I'd be like, no, because I wasn't actually there. My bad. But it is difficult, dude, because you don't want to be the guy who made up that you went to 9/11. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard, dude. You weren't there, bro. It's hard to judge. Because I can understand you being like, I'm the new guy. They're talking about 9/11. I accidentally said that I was at 9/11. Now if I retract it, they're going to be like, why'd you make that up? You're fucking weird as shit. And then they're not going to want to put me on shows. They're not going to want me to fucking be friends with me. They're not going to want to associate with me. I'm going to be the fucking liar. I'm going to be the guy who lied about 9/11. Basically, he lied, and then he was so afraid of becoming the thing he inevitably became that he just stayed in the lie to the point where he fucking talked on Marc Maron about being jostled in the building and thinking that the planes were driven by drunk drivers. Like, if you go back and listen to that Marc Maron episode of him talking about being in the building, it's disturbing at how clearly fake the story is. But you can't say it's fake because it's too insane of a thing to say. It's exactly what I was talking about. It's that thing where you're like, why would somebody make that up? And you're like, because sometimes people do. And what do we, I guess the question is, what are we supposed to do with that information? Are we supposed to not believe people? Because there are some people who fucking will say wild shit and they won't even know why they did it? You know? Like you would think with Juicy Smollett, with Steve Rannazzisi. Not that they did the same thing. I guess that's for other people to judge. I don't think it's the same. I think I give Steve Rannazzisi a little more leeway. But then again, my parents weren't in 9/11, you know? I didn't experience the event as viscerally as others. But for me, definitely it's not the same. And also, he's lying about something so stupid. To me, the Juicy Smollett one is worse, clearly, because he's lying about something that is really terrible, a hate crime. So he basically is, and even though he wasn't lying about something with sexual assault or something like that, the fact that he's lying about a crime being committed towards him is going to make anybody who wants to disbelieve someone about a crime committed to them immediately have carte blanche to do it. And immediately have an evidence of a moment like that to be like, see, I don't believe it because things like this happen. And the frustrating thing, the thing that's hard is that they aren't wrong. And that's what's tough. Because then people will use something like that to be a clear-cut reason to not believe someone who's clearly telling the truth. And it's hard to argue against them because they're like, yeah, okay. But then again, things with Juicy Smollett, I guess it's easier to say it's fake once you know for a fact it's fake. But even before then, there were people who were like, I'm not going to say this in case I'm wrong, but this looks fishy. Anyway, I don't even know how I got on this fucking subject or why I'm talking about it, but it's fun. I need a haircut. Maybe I'm talking about because just in general, I've been thinking about how I've lost faith in people. And I got some confused in general about people and their motivations and why they do or don't do things. And I've talked about that on the podcast before too, of we're going to die soon. So why do people do the things they're going to do? Juicy Smollett, why did he lie about that? It seems like he thought it would make his career go better, which maybe if he was successful, he would have used. Some people use fucked up things for clout because you can. And I guess if he did, if he pulled it off, maybe he would have gotten some opportunities because people would have felt sympathy for him. Like in the way that Pete Davidson admittedly is like, yeah, people helped me out more in the beginning because they felt bad for me. And I don't know if was Steve Rannazzisi's reasoning for doing it, but that has to be a byproduct of it, probably. Whether it was intentional or not. So I don't know. So it's a hard thing to believe that someone would do, but there are people out there who will use tragedy and trauma and fucked up things to get clout because the clout is available to get. People will try and get clout with any clout that's available. Any leg up that exists in the world, people will gravitate towards. There are people who fucking pretend they don't have limbs, which is not a thing. You're like, well, how much of a leg up could you get? Literally, it seems like you might be one leg down. What a stupid joke, dude. What a stupid fucking joke. But people do it. Yeah, why am I talking about this? I don't know. I guess I'm just confused by people recently. I've been kind of like fucked around by somebody recently, and it's like throwing me for a loop. It's just I don't know. Why do people why do people not just say how they feel or do what they want? People always talk about they want you to be blunt or upfront. And that's always what I want. But then when you do it to people, they're very confused by it and like put off. People always say like, oh, I'd rather someone be straightforward with me than not. But every time somebody has been like, hey, would you want to go out sometime? And I'm like, oh no, like I really like you as a friend, but I don't want to. I would like to just stay friends. The person is always very upset. And almost reacts in the way of they're like, why didn't you just fucking like never tell me that? Why didn't you just like always just say no but never tell me that? But I'm the opposite. If somebody seems like they're into me, but they're not, I want them to tell me. I don't want to fucking be living in this weird limbo where we're flirting when we see each other, but then when I'm like, let's hang out, it doesn't happen. Like, what is the point of that? What is that, dude? We're going to die soon, bro. We're going to be dead in like 13 minutes. Okay? The same way there's dog years, there's human years. There's some alien species out there that sees our lifespan in fucking tiny increments. 14 minutes to another alien life form is fucking decades of our life. And all we got is 14 minutes. And then we're going to be dead. So why are we wasting 14 minutes being like, maybe I would love to go do something with you. And then when the person's like, hey, you for real? You're like, I don't know. What are we doing? Tell a motherfucker no. Tell somebody, no, I'm not interested. They might be upset, but I feel like you're giving them some of their 14 minutes back. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like we're all very disrespectful with each other's time. Time is the most valuable fucking thing. Time is the only commodity you don't get back, and yet we all fucking waste each other's time so aggressively. It's disrespectful, dude. I just think it's weird. If everybody was just straightforward and upfront, we'd all gain like 5 extra years. I really believe that. If everyone was straightforward, it would add 14 years to your life. That's 100% true. That's statistically accurate. That's scientifically accurate. There's no way of disputing that. That's 100% true, foolproof. No one can deny it. That's fact. I've written it into law. If there was no like, maybe 17 extra years of your life immediately, you would feel a year of your life coming back to you after one moment of someone being like, I'm not interested at all. You'd feel weight literally ooze off of your body and a year of your life gain back. The creases in your skin would smooth out upon the rejection. 100%. I don't know. I don't like my job that much. I really don't, dude. I'm either working from home and shouting or I'm in the office sighing loudly. You know? The things that I like at home, someone will do something that's irritating. Someone will be like, "Hey, do you know where this could you do this for me?" And I'm like, "Well, that's your job." And at home, I'll go, that's your job, fuckface. Like, that's what I'll say loudly. But at work, I can't do that because people can hear. So I just go, or someone will be like, hey, can you find this thing for me? And I'll go, that's all I'll do. Some person will hear me psychotically cackle in my room and probably be like, what is it? Is he watching videos he shouldn't be? No, I'm just laughing at a request that isn't my job. That's the coolest part of having a job, is people asking you to do shit that's not your fucking job. And then you just have to find more and more interesting ways to be like, actually, fuck off. Because you can't say, hey, that's your job, buddy. Go fuck yourself. So you have to find workarounds where you're like, I think maybe you found that yesterday. And like, did I? And it's like, I don't know. Go check your email. You got to send them on an errand so to divert attention off of you, so that you don't have to directly reject their requests that is not your job. And blame, dude. Blame. That's the best part of work, is people never wanting to take. Every time at work, if something is my fault, this has happened multiple times. I've been like, my bad. That was my fault. But other people, no. You get blamed for something that didn't even have to do with you. Someone brings you a task that they already completed, and they're like, it's your fault that it's fucked up. And it's like, you're just handing this off to me, dude. I'm the messenger. Okay? I'm telling somebody else about how you fucked up. How is it my fault that there's a fuck up? I won't get into any specifics, but it's frustrating. Anyway, I'm thankful to be making a living, so it's always what it is. I was thinking about that while walking to work today. We're all slaves, dude. It's not it's not an uncommon thought. A lot of people believe that. A lot of people have talked about that. But we really are. When you're in New York City watching everyone fucking walk to work in depressive silence, you really are like, oh, dude, there is no freedom. That was the timer. I'll see you guys in a sec for the second part. What's up? I'm back. Yeah, there's no freedom, dude. Money is freedom. Money is freedom. You know who are free? People who made a shit ton of money and then they saved it all up and they're like, I'm just chilling now. We all know that, though. It seems there seem to be so many things that people say, and I catch myself doing this all the time. I'm saying something that is so obvious and everyone already knows it. But if you're saying it to the right people, everyone's like, damn, dude, that's fucking deep as shit. And then you look at them like, have you never had a conversation? Have you never thought about something? I don't know. Like, if I said that to somebody like, we're all slaves, like money is freedom. If I said that to somebody and they were like, really? That's crazy. You really think that? That's crazy. Wow, I didn't even think of it like that. If they were above the age of 22, I'd be like, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life, dude? What are you talking about? Why do you not know that implicitly? And they're like, well, because I come from wealth. And you're like, oh, okay, that's why you don't know. That's why you don't know that. Or you should be even more aware of it. I guess maybe you're so used to it they don't think about it. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know, dude. I'm sick of these hot men. There's this guy who I just hate him. I've talked about this. I hate hot men. I do. I hate them. Just dudes with long hair who are tall, who are like not jacked, but they like are built. They like look built because they're skinny. Machine Gun Kelly looking motherfuckers. I hate them, dude. Just boring. Everything they say is irritating and like not that cool, but they're tall enough where women are like, yep, let's fuck this guy. And there's definitely a female equivalent for sure, who's got a nice enough body where everyone's like, yeah, I don't care what she says. Let's fuck her. I don't know. Have a talent, you know? It's tough, man. It's rough. It's rough. Because we hate all these people. It's the one group of people that we are bigoted towards, and I think it's okay. The beautiful. We're allowed to be beauty bigots. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. I condone beauty bigotry. If you're hot as fuck, you're getting privileges that other people don't get, and fuck you. There was this woman, dude, who... I don't know if I told this story. It happened pretty recently. This woman came up to me, and I was talking to... I did tell this story, didn't I? I was talking to a gay Italian gentleman, and we were bonding over the fact that we're both Italian. And he wanted a seat. That's what it was. He wanted a seat, and I made sure that he got the seat so he could sit next to his friend. And he was like, "That's so nice of you. That's so nice." He's like, "Where are you from?" And then it was revealed to him that I was Italian, and that my dad was from Italy, and his dad was also from Italy. He's like, That's why you're so nice. That's why you're a good person, good parents, good genes. That's why Italian. That's why." And I'm like, I don't know, man. Italians can also be boisterous, homophobic, shitty people. So I'm glad that you got a good Italian family, but mine's hit or miss. But I guess they did teach me some good manners. I do think that my parents are good people who taught me good things, even though they're not perfect, but who is? But he was talking to me, and this woman came over, and she, we were talking, me and this gay gentleman and his friend, we were all talking about love, or me and him were talking about love, and then his friend came in, he brought his friend into the conversation being like, "See, we were talking about love, and he was like, tell him what love is. Tell him to me, to tell his friend." And I was like, "Oh, it's because we were talking about how love is like you would do anything. You forget about all of life. At least that's when I felt true love, if that exists or if it doesn't. When I felt pure love for someone, I really... Oh, shit. Hold on. I never put a timer on. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I'm right here. I just want to make sure that Okay. I want to make sure the camera doesn't go out. I put the timer on. Okay. Yeah, love. When I felt true love for somebody, I would have moments where I would look at them and I would be like, I would forget the goals in my life. Like, I would forget what I wanted to do as a career. I would forget completely everything and just look at them and be like, and have moments of like, this might be enough. Genuine moments of like, damn, dude, I think maybe just her. And he was saying a similar thing, but he was agreeing with me, and he was saying a similar but different thing, where he was like, yeah, you would do anything for them. You would be there for them. You would, you know. And so we were telling his friend about it, and then they were like, yeah, but sometimes you just fuck people you don't like. And I was like, that's true. I've been there as well. And then the gay gentleman said, well, I guess it's different for men. And I said, I don't know about that. And some woman, overheard that. This very cute, beautiful woman, a very attractive lady. She overheard that and was like, excuse me, whatever you just said about men, and like it's different for men, like that's some bullshit. You better fucking check your privilege and think about it. That's like some heteronormative bullshit. That's some heteronormative privilege. You should fucking check that. Which was funny to me because she didn't hear what we were saying at all. It was very clear to me. She just heard him say it's different. I guess it's different for men. And she took issue with that, but she didn't hear any of the rest of what we said. But it doesn't matter because she was just looking to do it, you know? She was looking to get her shit in there and fucking fuck it up with us. So then I, knowing what was actually said, was like, oh, I'm just going to pick a pocket to actually say what was said. Because also she wasn't, it was a weird move. It was kind of, it was like woke negging. It was very strange. It was like a way of getting to talk to us. And it was sometimes I think there's part of political discourse now is trying to get laid. It's very strange. Men and women do this thing where they like attack you politically, and if you can fucking fight them back or like argue back well and say the right things, then they want to fuck you. It's no different than when somebody is like shit talking you. They're like, oh yeah, oh that's what you think, but instead it's about like, oh you're a straight white man. What are you gonna say? Are you gonna listen to me right now? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it's the same exact method of flirting as negging, but there's like a political filter for it. So she is like, oh. And he's trying to explain, but he's not really explaining. He was like, I'm not saying anything about men. I'm gay. I'm not saying. And I just was like, oh no, well, I think what we were saying was, and then she looks at me. I was like, what we were saying was we were talking about love, and we were talking about how love is something you would do anything for. And then they said, well, sometimes you just have sex with people you don't like. And I said, oh, I can understand that. And then he said, maybe it's different for men. And I said, I don't know about that. And then she looked at me, like, oh, you win this one. But now let me bring up another scenario, because she didn't engage with what I said at all. She just looked at me with a crooked head and was like, can I tell you a story? And then she launches into this story that happened where she was telling this story about how she had these white roommates. Because she was what's it called? A black woman, and she was like a 21-year-old black girl, and she was talking about like moving in with white roommates. It's a story I've heard many times from friends of mine of like, and like every time I've heard it, I was like, listen, I grew up with people like that. I know where this story's going. But it's always like someone goes to NYU, someone goes to a liberal arts school, and they're around these people. And they have to live with these girls. It's a lot of women will tell me this story where they move in with white girls, and the white girls will say and be racist as fuck and shitty to them. And she was telling that story, and as it was going along, the fucking guy. Oh, and before that, she was like, "I'm gonna put my drink down so I could tell this story," and I was like, And we're like, oh, okay. She goes, no one roofie it. And I just put my hands out to her. And she was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm putting my hands out. And she's like, wait. She goes, okay, yeah, good. Yeah, keep your hands out. She goes, wait a second. Are you gay? Are you gay too? And I was like, no. She's like, so you're a straight white man? And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm putting my hands out. I want to make you feel comfortable. And she was like, okay, good. And then she had us hold hands, which we did for a little bit, and then he let go. Which honestly, I was like, kind of homophobic, dude. You can't hold my hands, dude? What the fuck? The hell, dude? I'm straight and you can't hold my hands, bro? What the fuck, dude? I felt a connection towards you. We're Italian brothers, dude. We can't hold hands for an extended period of time? Anyway, she's telling the story, and he keeps interrupting and saying shit. And then she keeps looking at me and being like, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? You keep interrupting me. And then she turned into this thing where she's like, gay white men like get away with shit and gay men try and get away with shit. And then he kept defending himself by being like, well, I'm gay. And that just proved her point more, because she's like, just because you're gay doesn't mean you get to interrupt me and all this stuff. And I was just sitting there listening. And it got to the point where she was like, it got to the point where she was just like, are you seeing this to me? And I was like, yeah, I'm seeing it. And then she's like, I'm just going to talk to you because you're listening. You're actually listening. And then she says these things to me. And then a friend of mine walks over who apparently was hanging out with her in the back. And then they start talking. And then she walks away. And I fucking missed the story, dude. I missed the whole fucking story. I wanted to hear the fucking story. And she fucking... And then my friend she didn't like pull me into the group. She just went in the back with her and them. And then later I was like, what the fuck? I was trying to listen to the rest of that story. Why didn't you bring me in the back? I wanted to hear the fucking thing. Anyway, but my point is, what was it talking about? Pretty people. It was funny because she was hitting us with all this, talking about privilege and this and that. And the whole time I was partially thinking to myself, yeah, but you're also like, you're very pretty. You're super attractive. Like I think you're very cute, and you know that you are cute, and you know that you can just start attacking us without you even really knowing what we were saying, and we'll start listening and hearing you out. You knew that. You were very aware of like, this dude at the bar will listen to me because I'm a cutie. You were very aware of that, and you use it to your advantage, which, respect to you, you should be doing that. But at the same time, it made me just be like, come on, dude. You know what it is? You know what it is about very attractive people that annoys me? Is that they act like they don't, their benefits are not acknowledged enough. I feel like we don't bring it up enough of like, well, you are hot. Like, hotness is a factor that does a lot for a person. And I feel like we don't talk about it enough. What I'm saying is we should be united against attractive people. Not totally, like, you know, there are some people who are attractive, but they're not what I'm talking about. There are people who just like... Also, I felt that the thing that bothers me and bothers other people is you're like, damn, dude, I'm victim to this. Like, I didn't like the fact that I was like, yeah, I mean, part of the reason why I'm entertaining all of this is because I think this girl is very cute. And also, she was weird. It felt like she was hitting on me. It was weird. It felt no different than when somebody is hitting on me, the way she was like, oh, you're a straight white man? And then I was holding my hands out, and then she kind of liked that. And then the fact that I was listening, she liked that as well. And really in my head, I was like, oh, I'm killing it. I'm flirting right back. We're playing woke chess right now, and I think we might make out. Like, that's what it felt like to me. I don't know. It was interesting. It was a very interesting back and forth. Also, what if people... Yeah, that's crazy, dude. College fucking must suck. I've heard that story so many times. A black woman or a black dude or a super close friend of mine, same story. Moved in with some white kids. They were just saying fucked up shit. And they're like, what, dude? What? It's cool. There's nothing like college white kids. I feel like college white kids, high school white kids, I think are the most racist, the most pure racist things you'll ever hear a person say. Because they don't know. Because a lot of them are insulated enough where like they're just like, oh, you just talk like that, it doesn't matter. And then what happens is a lot of kids go to college and then they meet other kinds of people and then they're like, oh, I shouldn't be this way. Or they double down and they're like, no, what? It doesn't matter. It's very fascinating. It's very fascinating to see the people who change and the people who don't. That's why you'll have a thing where someone will be totally fucking different than they are in high school. That's always an interesting thing to see. Sometimes it's very good. There's this one kid who was a total nerd, and now he's like killing it. He's fucking every girl's dream husband. He went from being a doofy little nerd that no one wanted to fuck to like the desired husband that everyone wants to go on a date with. And he's like shrugging women away. That's how much he's killing it now. Which is cool to see, because he was always a very nice guy. So it's cool to see. It's just cool to know that some nice people end up with a good life. You know? It's fun. I like it. I like it. Karma. If karma exists, that dude is proof that it's real. I don't remember him doing a single fucked up thing. He was so fucking nice and kind. And now I think he's a doctor, dude. He's got his fucking MD, bro. And women are just like, please marry me right now. And he's like, I got a lot of people to fucking interview. If you want to be Ms. fucking Marshall, bro, you got to wait in line, dude. Good for him, man. Got a stuffy nose right now, dude. I hope I don't have fucking the new strain of COVID, bro. I hope I don't have the new strain of COVID Toblerone, bro. You guys hear about it? Guys hear about that new strain of COVID Toblerone, bro? Not the candy, dude, but it is the candy. It's named after the candy because it's because it's like effective but not really. The Toblerone strain of COVID, like people are kind of getting it, but they're kind of not. They're getting it, but then they're like kind of regretting it because they're like, this is not that good, you know? Toblerone, like it really kills some people, but most people it just kind of it makes you feel like mildly sick and like you made a mistake. I said that to a friend. I was like, I hope there's not a new strain of COVID, Toblerone. I said that to one friend who laughed hysterically. So then I was like, damn, dude, this is a funny thing to say. So I said it to like 4 other friends. Only one of them laughed kind of, and the rest were like, haha, sure, man. That's the worst, dude. When you say something and someone laughs so fucking hard that you're like, that's the thing I'm going to say now. That's going to kill every time I say it. And then literally no other person thinks it's funny. And then you go back to the person who you first said it to, you say it again, and he's like, what does that mean? And you're like, come on, dude, you were my only defender. And now you're going to fucking turn against me? No. I got a stuffy nose right now. I didn't have one all day, and what's going on? Maybe it's just because it's so fucking hot in this room that my nose is literally plugging itself up. I don't even know if that makes sense scientifically or medically, but what are you going to do? I got worried the other day. I feel like I always wear my mask, and then I pick certain moments to not wear it because I'm like, I'm probably fine. And then as soon as I don't wear it, something happens where I'm like, I should be wearing it right now. I went to the laundromat thinking I'll be fine, and then I got to the laundromat, and I thought I would be fine. I went to the laundromat. There wasn't anyone there. Everyone was just chilling. Everyone, there was like a few people there, and we were all very far apart, and a lot of people weren't wearing masks, and I was like, it's probably fine. And I was at my own machine, far away from everyone else. And then this dude comes in, and he's fucking angry as shit. And he comes to the machine right next to me and kind of slams the door. And then he's like looking around. And then he looks at my detergent. He's like, yo, can I borrow some soap? And I look at him, and I look him up and down in a very clear way of like, I was kind of sizing him up. I was thinking to myself, can I say no to this man? He already slammed the laundry door. The laundry machine door. He's already coming in here very hot. Like, it's going to be a confrontation if I tell him no. But also, it wouldn't be a big thing if I had a full container, but I've been using this thing for a year, and it had like 3 spills left. It had 2 hearty dumps, and I had 2 washing machines to fill with detergent, and this guy was coming in to steal a little bit of that. And you could tell that he was going to give himself a normal amount. He said, can I borrow a little soap? But you could tell that he was going to take a full amount because he thought it was a full thing of detergent. But once he grabbed it, he even had the wherewithal to be like, there's not much in here. He's got 2 machines. I'll take an actual little bit. He gives himself a little bit. Then I fill my shit up, empty the thing. And then he starts telling me about his day. Because, of course, he can't just get the soap from me and then shut up. He's got to justify the soap ask. So he's telling me about his day, how he lost his phone, how at the other laundry machine, he had his clothing at a different laundry machine, but then there was no money on the card. So then he brought it here. He's like, that's why I don't have my soap. It's at the other place. My soap's at the other place. And I'm like, well, what? So go back to the other place and get your fucking soap. Like, what are you talking about? But instead, I didn't say that to him. I just was like, oh, yeah, man, crazy. And he's like, yeah, I got this new phone, and the old phone is being paid for, so I'm paying for 2 phones, but I can't get them to stop doing the old phone because I don't have the verification number. I don't have the specific number. I'm like, yo, dude, I got the phone. Like, look up, this is my name, this is my number. Like, cancel the phone. Like, we can't. You need your number. I'm like, what kind of phone do you have? He's like, Samsung. I was like, maybe you can go on the Samsung site and like look at your purchase history. And then he just looked at me with like eyes glazed over, like, yo, what are you talking about, bro? He was looking at me like, yo, this story's not even real. Why are you trying to help me? Just listen to my excuse so I can feel better about the soap. Also, he was like, yo, man, next time I see you, I got you with the soap. I'm like, when are you going to see me again, dude? First of all, I do laundry fucking 1 to 2 times a month. Which... whatever, dude. If that's not enough for you, fuck you. Okay? Some people don't shower every day. That's worse. What's worse? Doing your laundry twice a month or not showering or only showering once a week? Answer me that, dude. Because I will shower every time I leave the house out of courtesy to the other people around me. But I will not do my laundry more than twice a month. I just won't do it, dude. It seems ridiculous to me. Okay, that's how I fucking make a bottle of detergent last a year, dude. That's cost efficient, bro. I'm trying to save the environment. I'm not trying to throw out fucking 90 bottles of detergent. No, dude. I only recycle 1 plastic thing of it. Okay, I'm reducing the landfill. Anyway, as I'm talking to him, he just keeps like, yeah, my phone, you know? My phone, I like lost it, but, you know? Oh, gross, dude. Ew, dude. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. In mimicking this dude, I just blew some snot in the fucking microphone. So if you're watching, I apologize for that disgustingness. I wish I edited this enough to put it in slow motion. That'd be a tight moment right there. Anyway, but he was doing that, and I was just like, oh, dude, I should have my mask on. And he had his mask, like, on his chin, and I was like, bro, you should have your mask on. Dude, you sound so stuffed up right now that I think that you have the new strain. Dude, you got Toblerone, and I don't want to catch it. And I was like, of course, the one time I don't wear my mask, this motherfucker is snorting and stuffy and making me feel like I'm getting Tobleroned right in my asshole, dude. I can feel the itch of COVID entering my sinuses. Thankfully, I do not have it. At least I don't think. I mean, I was complaining about my job before, but it is nice in the age of COVID to be working where I work because they check me every week. Like, I'm checked constantly, you know? The only person more checked than me is a fucking porn star for STDs. Which also, again, it must be tight to be a porn star because you are the cleanest person. They were saying that in Red Rocket when I was watching Red Rocket. He was saying that in the movie. And it came off as like kind of a joke, but that's legit. Porn stars are probably the safest people to fuck because they get tested probably more than any motherfucker in existence. I'm safe to be around for COVID because I get tested every week for it. So I would know if I had it or not. And Johnny Sins doesn't have an STI, bro. You know it because he comes out with a scene every week. You know what I'm saying? Avery Christie is a clean girl, dude. Why do you think you see her with a new Vixen scene out, bro? All right, now I'm just talking specific. Now I'm just revealing that I watch porn enough to be specific about it, you know? You should, though. If you watch porn, you should be able to be specific. Should you not? Listen, dude, I'm respectful. If I'm going to watch somebody have sex, I'm going to remember their fake name, okay? Okay? In real life, I remember people's names who I have sex with. Same goes for jerking off. If I see a man and a woman being intimate with each other, I will remember their names, dude. That's out of respect towards them. You got to admire the work, bro. They're putting their life on the line so that people can jizz. Okay? I know Jared Leto's name, and I don't even like him. The least I can do is remember the name of a man and woman who I watched while I came. And that's the timer for the podcast. That's a good enough place to end it as any. Thank you for listening. This was very fun. Yeah, dude. You're the best. You're awesome. Thank you for listening. I love you so much. Hell yeah, dude. I had fun. Yeah, as always, I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Jake, you're an idiot. Jake, you don't make any sense. Jake, you're a piece of shit. A piece of shit.